Hi, it's Maya here with a quick tag video, and this is the International Booktuber tag. I was tagged by the creator Daniela in Prague. Question number 1 is, where are you from and what is your native language or languages? I'm from Finland and my native language is Finnish. Question number 2 is, in what languages do you read books? And I read in mostly English and then also Finnish. I also studied French, Swedish and Japanese. I have forgotten most of the Japanese, but I can read like short newspaper articles and stuff in French and Swedish, but I don't have a great vocabulary in those languages, so I can't read complicated stuff and I can't speak it or write it myself. The next question is there booktube in your native language, and if so, what is the community like? I thought there were only like book blogs in Finnish. There's quite a large community of book bloggers in Finnish. But Reija from the Bookfinch, who's also a Finnish booktuber, did this tag, and she found out when doing this tag that there is some sort of a booktube community. It's called Kirjatube, which is like booktube. So apparently there is at least some people making videos. Question number 4 is, if there is a booktube community in your native language, why did you decide to join the international one? And the international one was the one that I've been watching and commenting on, like other people's videos, and I wanted to join in on the conversation and talk to those people, share my interests and share my opinions. That's the reason also I didn't really even look into a Finnish community, because the majority of what I read is in English. It's English science fiction and fantasy, and that's what I wanted to talk about. So it was pretty like clear that I would be doing this in English. I also had a book blog for a short time, but I didn't really do much with it. So then I just moved into BookTube. Are there any struggles or challenges for you as a non-native English speaker? Well, sometimes I lose a word when I'm filming and then I can't remember it in either Finnish or English. Sometimes when I lose a word, if I can think of it in one language, then I can remember it in the other as well. But sometimes I just forget the word completely. Also, like in another sense, if I would like to be a booktuber who works more with publishers, I can of course use NetGalley, but like people won't be sending physical ARCs to Finland anytime soon of like books from the UK or the US. Question number 6 is, how do you get a hold of English books? It's pretty easy. I use the library. I have a great library system that has new releases and tons of older stuff. There is a bookstore in town that sells English science fiction and fantasy, but they don't have that great a selection of exactly the things that I want, and maybe not new releases aren't there on release date, so it's a bit of a hit and miss. So mostly if I want a specific book, I will order it online. I tend to use a Nordic online bookstore chain called Adlibris. Sometimes I order through Book Depository because it has free international shipping. And then I also do have a Kindle for ebooks, and I buy digital comics sometimes through Comixology. Question number 7 is, what is the best thing about being part of the international community? And it says that you can answer this in your native language and add subtitles if you want to. So I'm gonna answer this in Finnish. So you may want to go and turn on the English closed captions. So go and do that. Eli vastataanpa sitten suomeksi. Kaikista mahtavinta on ollut tavata ihmisiä eri puolilta maailmaa. On se sitten verkossa, mutta joitakin mä oon päässyt tapaamaan livenäkin. Esimerkiksi mun 2017 Worldcon oli Suomessa, ja sinne tuli paljon BookTube-väkeä. Ja sitten vuonna 2019, kun Worldcon oli Dublinissa, mä menin sinne ja tapasin siellä paljon näitä ihmisiä, jotka mä olin tavannut jo aikaisemmin, ja sitten muutamia ihmisiä BookTubessa, joita mä en ollut tavannut aikaisemmin. Ja se oli tosi siistiä, eli Euroopan Worldcon-tapahtumat on ollut kivoja, kun tuntee sieltä väkeä mennä sinne. Se on myös ollut tosi siistiä, että kun mä oon matkustanut pari kertaa Lontooseen, niin on voinut nähdä siellä tuttuja netistä ja käydä kirjastoksilla niiden kanssa. Esimerkiksi Claire Rousseau, hei, ollaan käyty parin kertaa ostelemassa kirjoja yhdessä. Eli ihmisten tapaaminen on suurin piirtein se isoin juttu. Tietysti se on myös kivaa puhua ihmisten kanssa netissä, jotka on eri puolta maailmaa, on sitten vaikka YouTube-kommenteissa tai jossain Messenger-apeissa. Eli saa aika paljon erilaisia kirjavinkkejä ja erilaisia mielipiteitä ihmisiltä eri puolilta. Okay, and then back to English and to question number 8. Do you watch other international booktube channels? Shout out the channel that you found recently. Pretty much everyone I watch is not from Finland, so I guess this means people outside the US and UK and maybe Canada, or then outside English-speaking countries. I don't really know. I'm really bad at this. I think pretty much everyone I watch is either from or currently living in an English-speaking country. Pretty much the two people that come to mind are Reija from the Bookfinch, who's also Finnish, and then Wiebke from One Book One Review, who is from Germany. And the final question is, tag your fellow international booktubers. Since Reija already did this, I'm gonna tag Wiebke. If you do tag videos. I'm not quite sure actually. So that was the International Booktuber tag. I'll definitely go to YouTube and search for other people who have done this tag. It's quite an old tag already. I just took ages to respond to it. I'm always on the lookout for more people who read adult science fiction and fantasy and horror. So I'm gonna see if I find some of those people with the tag. But that was all from me for now. I hope you enjoyed my Finnish, and I'll see you in my next video.